Mark, how you doing, man?
Great to see you, Dennis. Great to see you.
It was great to be back. I just love coming down here. You just have such unique stuff. We were just talking about that, and you've got what, 450? I don't know how many cars you have in
480 plus.
Oh.
480 plus.
It just keeps going up, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
just keep, I don't sell stuff hardly ever.
But today we're doing station wagons.
Station wagon.
I can't believe you've got these beautiful wagons. We got a 57 Country Squire.
Correct.
And then a 59 Country Sedan.
Correct.
And with a lot of interesting differences for just 2 years apart. And I know you have a history with both these cars.
Correct. I grew up in a Ford family.
There you go. and in Ford station wagons. We'll do this chronologically backwards for a change. Let's start at the 59.
Okay.
This is about as loaded as you're going to see a wagon.
Ford had, of course, done a facelift from their 57, 58 models, and they went with the new longer and lower look.
Yeah, it is.
And in 1959, we had a vehicle almost identical to this in Arizona. We moved from Massachusetts to Arizona, and my folks with 5 kids and a dog and a cat, it's like, we need more room. So they ended up buying a 4-door station wagon from Ford, identical color combination.
Seriously, really?
Identical color combination. It was April green, which is the very light spring green, and Sherwood green, which is like the Sherwood Forest and Robin Hood lore.
Right.
Okay, so the 2-tone green with the beautiful tri-tone interior.
Yeah.
We had that vehicle for about 8 years before my brother Dexter finally got it and wrecked it. Okay. But that
kind of how it goes sometimes.
That's how it goes. But I can tell you, this vehicle was extremely rare because it was a 2-door.
Yeah, I've never seen one.
Not a 4-door.
Yeah.
And it was a 2-door, 6-passenger.
No third seat.
Typical, no third seat. So usually station wagons would often, half of them being made had the 9-passenger seating option, or sometimes they'd say 8-passenger seating. This was only 6-passenger seating, and if you think, they only made a little over 8,000 of these. And whoever ordered this car, if you think of the time period, in the 1950s, that was when you had suburbia kicking off.
Yeah.
People were moving to the suburbs, and a lot of people bought station wagons. And it wasn't just for the poor family that had a lot of kids, it was a status symbol. You wanted to drive a nice vehicle that looked great, was loaded with options.
High-end,
heavily optioned vehicles. And whoever bought this new, that's what they checked off for a box. But I can tell you that they didn't have 6 or 8 kids, because nobody with 6 or 8 kids would order a 2-door only station wagon.
Without a third seat.
Without a third seat.
Which is, what a weird
just
combo.
Like the station wagon of the 50s turned into the customized van of the 70s, to the minivan craze of the 80s, to the luxury SUVs today.
Yeah, this is kind of a luxury SUV, isn't it?
This is the luxury SUV. This is the person today who goes, buys that new Mercedes G-Wagon, never is going to take it off the pavement, and they're going to go from their home to the doctor's office, back home again.
But they're going to look marvelous doing it.
And it's a status symbol.
Yeah. One of the things I noticed was my first car, 15 years old, didn't even have a license, bought it for $100, 59 T-Bird. It had these identical fender ornaments. That's a Thunderbird in there.
Correct. And Ford tried to capture the marketing glow of the 55 to 57 T-Bird. So they knew the 55, 57 T-Bird had that image. Sporty, fast, stylish, sexy, okay? So they wanted to move that from a marketing point of view into other vehicles.
Again, the details on this, factory spots, the really cool spots are usually aftermarket type things, but to look how these are installed, and the chrome piece that, like covers them all the way up to this, I mean, this is really fancy.
This was top
and
of
they
the
have
line.
rear view mirrors in there.
Yes, dual purpose.
Wow.
And let's face it, headlights in the day, okay, modern technology has totally changed night driving. But during the day, even when auto companies went to the 4 headlight system instead of 2 from 57 to 58,
right,
it still was dark. Most of American highways at night, there was no lights.
Yeah. And these aren't great. These aren't great lights.
They don't have great, visibility long distance anyway. So by adding factory spotlights, it was ideal.
They actually wanted to use those sometimes.
Because if you were going to go visit Aunt Daisy or whoever
is this the right house?
And you would actually use them.
Like you were talking, this interior is just stunning too.
Just beautiful tritone interior.
And the metal thread in the fabric it sparkles in the sunlight.
Yeah. And back in the day, interior automobile designers truly were designers.
Oh man,
if you look at all the chrome, the stainless,
well, and the side panels on the door, all
the painted metal, it's today you look at a modern car, it's black inside. Most of them are black, gray, beige, all monotone, plastic. Okay, here, all the instrumentation.
It had a padded dash too.
Yep, and that was a factory option.
Oh, now, was it? Wow.
My mom actually didn't like that padded dash because she said, if the kids are bad and I slam on the brakes and they bounce off that metal dash like we used to have, they'll learn a lesson.
Yeah.
But with that padded dash, she said, they're not going to learn a lesson. They'll bounce off that padded dash, they won't feel anything, and they'll do it again. I used to always kid, and I said, if you were the bad kid, where would you sit? And a lot of people today say, oh, that'd probably be way in the back. I go, no. That was the funnest place to sit.
You sat between mom and dad.
You sat between mom and dad in that front seat.
Exactly.
Okay?
That's the penalty box.
That's the penalty box. And then I can tell you did not want to have to sit in the penalty box. Okay.
Now you were talking about this too. Over there on the glove box, it says Fairlane 500.
Correct.
Underneath it, in a gold plate, it says Galaxy.
Correct.
So it's a Fairlane 500 Galaxy Country Sedan
station wagon.
Station wagon with a Thunderbird engine.
Power plant.
Even though that looks like a dealer-installed knee-knocker AC, that was the factory AC?
That was factory AC.
Wow. On the other front door, there's a plate that says air-conditioned. I mean, they're like, let's just put everything out there,
Because air conditioning back then would often be about 12 to 15% of the total vehicle price. If you look, it's the jet age, the end of the 1950s.
These look like thrusters.
You still have the fins.
Yeah.
And it looks like the exhaust from a jet engine. Yeah. You have the trumpeting of the exhaust.
And the bright work around that rear wheel is beautiful, trailing into that aluminum or whatever that is. Yep. And they weren't really exhaust wasn't really coming out through the bumper. They'd wised up by then, but it's pretty close to coming out.
Coming out close.
So that's a bolt-on, I guess, part.
Yep.
Wow.
Lift this up. And so that's all the way up. Then you push the button again, lower it down.
Wow.
Very functional.
Yeah.
And when we would drive cross country, my mom had a Coleman green cooler, and she'd just put that there, flip it up, and say it's lunchtime. Eat off the back of a station wagon. You didn't go through a McDonald's or anything like that.
And it was color coordinated. It was the green Coleman.
It was Coleman green. Coleman green.
Well, let's go look at the Thunderbird power plant.
Okay.
This looks just like the engine that was in my 59 T-Bird. 352, four-barrel.
4150 series carburetor. Autolite was the primary supplier of carburetors for Ford at that time.
Monstrous compressor for the AC.
And just a dependable, solid engine.
Yeah, the 352 really was a
because you could drive this car down the interstate. My mom would drive 90 miles an hour all day long. You didn't worry about the price of fuel.
Yeah.
And she'd always put premium fuel in and drive it, and you didn't think anything of 90 miles an hour. Even though back in the day you were riding on bias ply tires.
With really single master cylinder brakes and all sorts of things.
Yeah,
they went fast. They didn't corner, they didn't stop
well. They didn't corner very well, they didn't brake very well.
But they went fast.
They went fast in a straight line. Very good.
Big, huge radiator too. Man, that thing is going to stay cool.
Well, they figured this is going to get a lot of use. Most people that bought station wagons were going to be putting a lot of people and gear inside. So it wasn't going to be a one-passenger vehicle.
But look how little that master cylinder is. That's really, really little.
Yeah. And the big factory air cleaner.
Yeah, that's beautiful. This must be a lot of fun. What do you say you take out and roll it up and down?
You'll love driving this. And you got it past the safety catch, and
boom.
There we go.
All right.
Good.
Well, your big steering wheel, thin, no tilt.
No tilt.
No telescope.
No.
Okay. boy, is that nice.
That's up nice.
Wow. Okay, here we go. Drive, actually low, drive 1, drive 2.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah. Oh, this is styling. And just like you're doing, in these cars, you could put your arm out the window.
You could put your arm out the window.
The side is low enough to do that.
Yeah. Get a nice tan as you go down the highway. You could always tell if the person was a driver or a passenger.
Which arm is tan?
Looking, which arm is tan. Yeah. And again, you know, I'm 6'5". Lots of leg room in here.
Yeah, this isn't like folding you up in one of your Ford GTs.
No, plenty of, you know, headlight, even with the low profile. Still have plenty of, you know, head space. Lots of room, and the beauty is when you stick your arm out, you get that natural AC.
Yeah, exactly.
Like my mom always
the 460, 4 windows down, 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, you don't need to pay for that AC. Just crank all the windows down, and I'll go faster if you're getting hotter. And green, let's face it, back in the 1950s and into the 60s, a lot of cars were painted green.
There was a lot of green back then.
It was a very common color, and I don't know if that was, you know, left over from, you know, World War II, where a lot of the GIs and everybody was involved and had, you know, the Army green and the military. But green after, you know, World War II became a very popular color. Actually, green was a lot more common than, let's say, black was.
And that sure isn't the case anymore.
No.
And not a terrible turning radius for such a big car.
Especially since you have power steering.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The power steering really made a difference.
This is a nice cruiser.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Great visibility with the big windshield, big curved windshield.
Tinted glass too in this, right?
Yep,
it's
tinted
got
glass.
A little bit green to it.
Which, let's face it, if this originally came, you know, from western Colorado, it gets hot out there.
It gets hot out there.
And if they ordered air conditioning, the dealer probably said, well, if you're going to spend all that money for air conditioning, you might as well check off that tinted glass option.
While you're at it.
It'll really save on your AC. And, you know, AC, let's face it, today is so much better in modern cars compared to back then. But if you were right up front where it was blowing, in the front seat, you were nice and cool.
Probably not a lot of AC action in back.
No.
No.
Way in the back, that's where, you know, the kids would be. And
who cares?
Who cares about the kids?
They're
gonna get sweaty and dirty anyway all day. Throw them in the tub at the end of the day and be done with it. It
wasn't standard, the padded dash.
No, padded dash was actually an option. And so, you know, this car is just loaded with options, not only AC, tinted windows, dual spotlights, padded dash, factory roof racks, okay?
Did the restorer have to redo that dash? And how do you redo a dash like this? Or was the dash pad in good shape?
No, he actually had to redo all the interior.
Oh.
And so the beauty is he had the original car. They had to replace all the foam, of course, because the foam was all disintegrating, you know, had long since had its best days. And so, like he said, this car needs a full restoration, but when I get done, I'm putting my name on it. And Jerry Miller, I got to give him credit.
And this was his last restoration?
Full restoration he did. And he did hundreds of cars in his lifetime. Like he said, in a typical year, he'd do about 8 to 10 restorations out of his shop.
That's just, they're so hard. They're so involved.
But he had a great crew of people. I went there numerous times, and you know, all his employees were there for 20, 30, 40 years. You know, they knew the cars inside and out. And he also had his own little salvage yard in the back. He must have had, on his 15, 20 acre parcel of land there, he must have had 100 old Fords back there. A lot of the vendors, and that's another reason why he said he, you know, was finally done at 80 years of age. He says, you know what? All my parts suppliers that I counted on for years and years, they're either all passing away or they're retiring like I am. And he says it's kind of a lost art. You just don't have the people anymore. And that's one of the most common questions we get at the American Muscle Car Museum is, can you recommend somebody who can work on my old vehicle? Because modern technicians, they have no idea how to work on a car.
Well, there's a couple. McPherson College out in McPherson, Kansas, has got a program that's turning out, new craftsmen.
Yes.
Because the old ones are
passing away.
Yeah. And so, fortunately, there are places where you can go and learn these very special skills, and they're in demand.
Correct.
They're definitely in demand.
Yeah. And I would much rather work on an older vehicle than a modern car today.
Oh man.
Modern cars.
You and me both.
There's just so much effort today on a modern car with all the electronics and everything else. As these, anything that breaks literally can be rebuilt.
Yeah.
Today, when the computer screen goes dead,
you're screwed.
We'll put a new one in. What caused it? We don't know.
What a great wagon. This thing's unbelievable. I love this, Mark. This is great.
Unbelievable. Great memories in this vehicle.
Cruising on.